Happy Sunday, everyone. I hope that you've been having a great day. I got in from church. I guess it's been a couple of hours since I've gotten home from church. And I have this message. I just couldn't wait until tomorrow to share it. I wanted to share it with you today. I'm going to go ahead and apologize in advance if you hear a bunch of noise in the background. My dog decided to follow me upstairs while I was recording this video. I promise you, she's literally like one of my children. Whenever, if you're a parent, you know, when you're about to get on the phone or talk to someone or what have you, kids could have been quiet that whole time. And as soon, it's like they have this internal not compass, but this internal knowing that you're about to talk to someone. And so then they become distracting. Go sit down somewhere. But anyway, so listen, if this is your first time tuning in, I want to welcome you to the channel. If you've been faithfully following me and viewing any of the messages that I share, I want to say thank you for tuning in. Again, I am Tasha of Just One, because just one person can make a difference. And I want to share this again. I've stated it in previous videos, but I want to restate this for the new hopefully subscribers and those who are continuing. Shush, Coco. In that I share faith-based messages of inspiration and encouragement. And so that is my primary mission, purpose, and intention, which is to take either things that I've gone through. Most of the time, they're things that I've gone through, lessons that I've learned, and I call it flip the script. So I have, and I'm going to say unique, it's probably not unique, but I just have a way of viewing things. I just strive or desire to be optimistic, right? Because life is so full, life is full of so many different trials and tribulations, which I'm going to touch on today. And so in the midst of things that I may be encountering that might be difficult, I'm always looking for the lesson to be learned in a way that I can alter my perspective so that I can stay above whatever that challenge is instead of allowing it to consume me. So the other day I was having this conversation with my husband, and I said, you know, if someone were to sit down and ask me, what is the one piece of advice that I could share? And I have a lot of advice that I could share, but one of the things that came to my mind at that moment was to encourage people to develop mental fortitude. And so I looked up that definition, right? Because I wanted to be sure that I shared it as it is understood. And so mental fortitude is defined as the ability to have strength in the face of adversity. And I was reading, it just so happened that underneath the definition, there was this blog. I don't know whose blog it was because I didn't actually click on the blog. I just saw a little snapshot kind of highlighting or sharing some advice or information as to how one could develop mental fortitude. And so this is what I wrote down. One blog states, creating a daily routine based in brain boosting habits, including such activities as gratitude journaling and practicing mindfulness and some other things. And I have to say, while there is some merit to what was shared in that blog, I have to be honest with you and say that the ability, and I wrote some notes so I could stay on task here, the ability to have strength in the face of adversity, as mental fortitude is defined, is to in fact go through adversity. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but in fact, you must go through adversity. So, you know, no one can become better at something without training or being disciplined in that particular area. So you can't become a better runner without the activity of running. You can't become a better swimmer without the activity of swimming. You can't become a better dancer. You can't become a better teacher. You can't become a better speaker. And the list goes on without engaging in the practice of that activity that you're attempting to become better at. You just can't. And the reality, whether we like it or not, is that life, this life that we're living, right, is full of adversity. It just is. And it's full of adversity that we all experience in varying measure. And so as I wrap this up today, I just want to say that it is important to know that the trials we encounter, the adversity we face is not for naught. Not N-O-T for not, N-A-U-G-H-T. An old archaic word. I find sometimes as I am sharing messages, whether I record them or write them, boy, I have some archaic language. No doubt the generation in which I grew up in, we were still under, in some instances, that old English model, and really heavy on the King James Version, right? And the old English. And so I just thought, and not for not is another way of saying nothing. So these things that we go through, they're not for nothing. Double negative, I know. But anyway, sometimes when we go through these things, we're being tested. Yes, we're being tested. I know people don't want to hear that, but I'm talking to believers here. And sometimes we're being tested. So I want to read for you James chapter 1, starting at the second verse. And this is the Amplified version. So, and it says, "Consider it nothing but joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you fall into various trials." I know it's hard to consider that joyful, but be assured that the testing of your faith through experience produces endurance, leading to spiritual maturity and inner peace. And let endurance have its perfect result and do a thorough work, so that you may be perfect and complete, developed in your faith, lacking in nothing. So yes, I mean, sometimes there's a testing of our faith and we go through these trials, but in the testing of that faith, right, as James 1:2 tells us, that this testing produces endurance. So when we talk about mental fortitude, to be able, the strength to be able to withstand adversity, that's developed through the trials that we encounter, that builds that endurance, that develops our faith, so that we know that whatever we're facing at that moment, this too shall pass. And on the other side of it is building us for a greater capacity, not only just to withstand adversity. So life is not only about adversity. There are good things that come with it, but it's being able to build us so that we can withstand this life and all that comes with this life, all of the decisions that we have to make, all of the things that we need to accomplish. Right now we have the endurance, the perseverance, the steadfastness to see things through. So it's not just about going through adversity. It's about building us into people who can withstand whatever it is we need to withstand, right? And then I also want to say, right, that sometimes we face adversity and trials and tribulations as a result of bad decisions and the actions of other people. But I believe in those instances that we see Romans 8:28 at work, God causing all things, the good and even the bad, and making them work together for our good, that is going to benefit us in some way. So I just want to encourage you, whatever you're facing, whatever you're going through, whatever adversity that, you're up against, trials, tribulations, that it is producing within you endurance, perseverance, steadfastness, developing your faith so that you can be built into this powerhouse, right? And so, I just wanted to share that message with you on this day. Hope the rest of your afternoon is great, and that your week is good. And I speak blessings upon you. May the blessings of the Lord be upon you, your family, your household, and may he fill you with his peace. Be blessed, my friends. And until next time, take care.